Head of Showtime, Stephen Espinoza, finally breaks silence on Crawford, Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford, the fight you all want to see, the latest, the negotiations. That's what we'll discuss in this video. Let's talk about it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. First, make sure you guys subscribe. Secondly, Stephen Espinoza of Showtime, he breaks his silence and he offers up all he can really do at this time. This is what he said. Boom. He says the negotiations for Crawford and Errol Spence unification for Undisputed, negotiations are ongoing and we're still working to make the fight. Sorry, I don't have more to offer, but publicly airing the negotiations would only make it more difficult to make a deal. Oh, and don't believe everything you read. So this was the same day, if I'm not mistaken, the same day that ESPN dropped that article and they said that, you know, November 19th is probably going to not work now and Jeopardy and pushed off the dates, things like that. The same day, Stephen Espinoza was asked about this particular fight. And that's what he said. So he said, don't believe everything you read. So I don't know. My thing is this. I respect Terence Crawford. I respect Errol Spence. Showtime, they've had a great calendar this year. You know, Fox, they've had a great calendar. PBC, they've had a great calendar. And at the end of the day, with this particular fight with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, I just want to see it. You know, there's a lot of angst and negative energy, and people are treating this like it's Bloods and Crips. Like you're incapable of liking Terence Crawford and Errol Spence at the same time, you know? But hey, that's what it is. It does show you on the positive note, it does show you that people are looking forward to this fight so much. Because just imagine if this was a much smaller fight that nobody cared about, then you wouldn't see all this commotion. You wouldn't see several people making videos or arguing in comment section because there would be so little interest that just wouldn't happen. But that's on the positive side of things, that's the positive for this particular fight. You know, you guys can listen to Eddie Hearn or you can listen to me. The choice is yours, but I don't lead y'all astray. Eddie Hearn said Canelo Golovkin 3 would be the biggest fight or is the biggest fight this year. Man, if Errol Spence and Crawford happen, then to me, that's a bigger and badder fight. And I know Canelo and Triple G3 lost money for DAZN. You know what I mean? The buzz was just not there. We know PBC, Showtime, Fox, Showtime, you know, whoever with PBC, they do great shoulder programming, really try to hype you up for the fight. So if Errol does fight Terence Crawford, I mean, why would you expect anything different? You know, other thing that Stephen Espinoza said that I personally liked, and it's stuff that I've always maintained on my Twitter when I talk to you guys or on my videos. And he says, I wish I had more to offer, but airing the negotiations would only make it more difficult to make a deal. And I got to address that because these are the types of things when people are not doing what Stephen Espinoza just said and did right there. These are the types of things that actually hurt the sport of boxing. And again, speaking on Eddie Hearn, which I just brought up a couple minutes ago, right? Eddie Hearn is famous for doing this. I mean, just look right now, Tyson Fury and, you know, Frank Warren are doing several different posts. Eddie Hearn, not so much Anthony Joshua, but he's being represented by Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn's doing interviews. Like, you got to look at the basics. If you are trying to sell somebody something, if you are trying to get an understanding or make some kind of arrangement or any type of transaction like that, any type of business, right? You don't want too many hands in the cookie jar. So if Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua really were trying to fight, then why do you keep going to Twitter and doing interviews on YouTube channels and saying, oh, this was said, and Tyson Fury saying, oh, you better sign by Monday? Why would you involve? So when Tyson Fury, for example, posts a video and he said, Joshua signed by Monday or it's over. Now, underneath the video, you're opening the floodgates so everybody can chime in with their opinion. And then, you know, especially if you start throwing out, oh, I'll give you this percentage or this percentage. And the more detailed you are, the more it'll hurt and hamper hamper the opportunity and the chance that the fight actually happens. You know what I mean? So Steven Espinoza is 1,000% right. I've long been known to say that. Like Floyd Mayweather fights. Floyd is the biggest fighter of my generation, probably the biggest fighter ever financially. You know what I'm saying? What he brought to the game, how much money he took away from the game, like salaries and Forbes list, big events. So that being said, I followed his whole career, right? I never recall any fight, like a whole fight from Floyd Mayweather where it just wasn't announced by Floyd Mayweather, right? Or you start hearing all these rumors. Like imagine if Oscar De La Hoya and Floyd Mayweather, they were trying to fight, and then Oscar kept going on Twitter saying, "Oh, Floyd, just sign the contract, hurry up, what are you doing, what are you doing?" You know what I'm saying? It just creates more calamity, and ultimately that's not what you would want in a business sense. So I can respect Steven Espinoza of Showtime, even though it's not a big update, he didn't really say much, but that's how it should be. The more you talk, the more inclined to not get the things done, because again, this is you got to tread lightly with a situation like that. Bud's a free agent. He's the missing link with the one belt. He feels his value is probably higher than it would be, you know, all things considered in this matchup. And the more you involve the public, the worse it'll get for you. Just imagine you're trying to do a job interview, right? And you go to do a job interview for Home Goods, and some other person that doesn't need to be there is in the room. Like your friend's in the room. Like that, like, is that gonna help you get the job? If you got a friend in there distracting you and you're trying to do a interview, or if you just you went to the dealership and you are trying to sign paperwork, do you want gap insurance, and fill out all the stuff. There's usually, I've bought cars before, you know what I'm saying? It's usually just you and the people processing the paper. They don't have a bunch of people in the room with you, because some people might get cold feet with seeing all them people in the room and, you know, get nervous or something, you know. So that's what I feel with the Terence Crawford Errol Spence fight. I feel like the silent negotiations are better, but ESPN particularly, they're leaking out whatever they're leaking out based on their sources. And I don't know if it's even true. And that's what happens when you try to beat and get the jump on the story and beat the company and beat the network from putting out the information. And that in boxing, that's actually something I'll probably make a separate video about, but that's one of the most toxic things, that you have boxing media and they're constantly trying to break the story before the networks are ready to announce the fight. So it becomes like Gossip Girls, you know, that TV show or whatever, where your source told you this and this, and you repeat everything your source said. And it just really creates more like drama, you know, chisme. Like it just doesn't make sense. You don't want to involve unnecessary people that don't need to be involved. So, you know, I respect Steven Espinoza for being professional, because Eddie Hearn, he would have did a million videos by now saying how, you know, Charlo didn't want it, or, you know, Javon, he's trying to throw the other fighter on the bus instead of just handling business. Because at the end of the day, your business will be judged on what you can present and provide. Let me know how I did in this video. Subscribe to the channel. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next videos, Ego. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new, interactive, and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.